Welcome to Confidence Rockstar Podcast, a place where you will find inspiration, motivation, and, let's say, kick in the bottom to take action and create the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Grzybek, and I'll help you quiet that little voice inside your head saying, "You can't do this." So you have the courage to go for what you've always wanted on your terms. Every week, I'll bring you some confidence golden nuggets, present an awesome interview in order to empower you to step up your game. It's time to choose happy and shine. It's time to become a confidence rockstar. Let's dive deep. Hi everyone, it's Grzybek here, host of Confidence Rockstar Podcast, and welcome to the next episode of our show. And today I have a very, very special guest for you, Caroline Bellenger, all the way from Australia. So from across the globe, I'm in Europe, she's in Australia, and it's the beginning of the day for me, it's almost the end of the day for her, but it's so amazing that I can bring her here to you today. And we will be talking about something amazing today, that actually our success comes from within. And many people think that we need to have all the strategies out there in order to be successful. But Caroline will share her amazing story, how it's actually the other way around. So welcome, Caroline. Thank you very much for being here.
Hey, Alex, it's fabulous to be here. I'm excited to share some little bits of information and hopefully inspire some women to start being more confident.
Perfect. I'm so thrilled to have you here because we were chatting just behind the scenes and also learning a little bit more about your story, because Caroline and I will be speaking together at upcoming Women Thrive Summit in March 2023. So we had the opportunity to see each other quite regularly recently. And, she has been featured in Women Thrive magazine. So, go there and check out her latest article. I will put all the links here. But right now, let's just go back to Caroline and her story. So let me just quickly introduce her to you in few words, but she will tell you more about her in a moment. So Caroline is a self-esteem coach, business coach, and award-winning entrepreneur, mental health advocate, and wellness warrior. She is the founder of Be the Impossible, where she is coaching and inspiring thousands of women to overcome their own life obstacles and create fulfillment and joy. And she is also a warrior and a very sporty person. She has climbed to the Everest Base Camp and competed in national sporting teams, including representing Australia in triathlon at the age of 50 and world champion surf life saving in 2022. So she dedicated her whole life to empowering women through speaking, through books, coaching programs, and online education. So I'm so looking forward to hear a little bit more, about your story. So Caroline, tell us a little bit about you. I mean, right now you have a business, you're helping other women, but I know it's not always been this way for you. So tell us a little bit background story, because it's always very powerful.
Yeah. And, every time, the fascinating thing is every time I get introduced, I sort of go, oh my God, is that me? Did I do all that? Because my, wind back 20 years, 40 years, it certainly wasn't like that. I experienced childhood sexual abuse from 7 to 17, and that then led to 20 years of addiction, mental illness, suicide attempts, and I was full of self-hatred. I had so much anxiety just to talk to people unless I had alcohol involved. So to be here today and be able to talk about my amazing life now, I guess that's what drives me, because I'm so passionate for women that it doesn't matter where you're at right now. And, we all go through really challenging times, but keep hope and keep going, and and find, and that's what I share, little strategies that can just get you through the most difficult times, because everyone's amazing and they deserve happiness and success.
Wow. Yes. I always love like hearing the behind the scenes stories, like how you got like to the place where you are now, because very often, especially when we look online, and it's actually the media creates this kind of thing. Oh, she's an overnight success. Yes. I do not believe in anything like that there is nothing like overnight success, and we don't know the journey. We don't know the story behind it all. So well, it's amazing that you've been through a lot, but you are the proof that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you've been through, you can always turn your life around. So how did you do that? I mean, because you have experienced trauma. You said that you were addicted, and you had like suicidal attempts and other things. So I mean, what changed? Was it like a, I don't know, certain day or a person, or I mean, what caused the change?
Yeah, I think it was like it was a slow decline into dysfunction. It was probably a slow rise out. The biggest probably factor for me was I had my son when I was 32. So I'd just been pretty much overseas for a few years, came back, found out I was pregnant at 5 months. Yes, I know. I had no intention of having children. I was still drinking and using a few drugs and things. I was really I'd just broken up with a boyfriend in America, so I was a mess. So to then find out I was pregnant was just like, at the time, felt like the worst thing that could happen to me. So I actually went through the process of adoption, and then when my son was born, I was still going through with it. And on about day 5, I just looked at him and went, guess we're stuck together. Was I maternal? Absolutely not. I could give back the baby days any time at all. But I guess, I went to live with my parents too, just to carry on that story. My dad got cancer a few months later, and he passed away when my son was 1. So it was a very difficult year on top of everything else. Fast forward again, another 6 years. So when my son was 7 is when I went to rehab and did a 6-month residential rehab. And I think part of that was he was just such a delight. And I know everyone says that about their kids, but he was an old soul. He was calm. He was the perfect baby. It was like the universe went, oh my God, she can't even cope with a perfect baby, so we'll just make it extra perfect. He never cried, slept right through, ate, everything, like a dream. So I think then it was this shame and guilt that, I was having blackouts. I did go to hospital on a suicide attempt when he was 3 and got taken into hospital. He actually remembers that as being one of his best days ever, because he got to ride in an ambulance. Which is interesting as I've moved forward in working with NLP and mindset and all that, on how we view the world. So here am I being taken to hospital as an attempted suicide attempt. Here's someone else, my son, in the ambulance, who still remembers it as the best day of his life, because he was just excited about the ambulance. So how we perceive things is so important, even in really toxic, dysfunctional, stressful situations. We still have the capacity as humans to find something of hope or of solution. So yeah, from that, I guess I was full of guilt, and I was having blackouts. I couldn't remember cooking him dinner. Throughout my addiction, I had great jobs and I held down really good jobs. I was a highly functional addict, and I know I speak to a lot of women who have that. So on the outside, actually, people think they're confident. because when they're at a party or out, they're the life of the party. Even, they'll just use alcohol to build up their confidence. But deep down inside, they're full of self-doubt, full of no self-love. So my son would be the driving force to me getting sober, doing 6-month residential rehab. And from there, it just got better. That was 13 years ago now. So, yeah.
Wow. I have a goosebumps just listening, to this story, because like you said that it was like the kind of the worst day of your life, the worst time of your life when you found out that you're pregnant, but it actually saved you on so many levels. Yes. And you wouldn't expect that, like the moment when you found out, but actually life had a different plan for you. So it's amazing. And, congratulations on all that. And what you said, that the perception, how we view things, is so powerful. The way we even look at, we cannot turn back the time. Yes. I mean, we cannot forget the past, but we can also change the way how we view that, whatever trauma and things happened to us. So wow. It is very, very, very powerful. So tell us, how do you, at the beginning of this talk, we said that success comes from within. Yes. So what do you mean by that? If you can expand a little bit on that.
Yeah. So I guess when I got sober, they said, don't make any big changes. So I went back to university. I'm not good at following rules. So I was doing university, which was a great goal for me. So it gave me purpose. I then was doing AA, but I found that a little bit depressing. So that's when I came across running. And when I once I started running a bit better, I found that when I ran, my stress was released, my mental health was better. So it was the journey and the process of doing things. So it was the process of studying. It wasn't about getting my degree. And in the running, it wasn't about, like I said, last year I was world champion in Italy in 2K beach run, but it's never been about that. When I go for a run, I change from within, and it changes our whole physiological state, but also just our mindset and how we view the world. So that's when I guess I started connecting that mind and body. And, it's a wheel. When we're more positive in the mind, we start doing things that are healthier. But when we're doing things that are healthier, we have a positive mind. So it does go in cycles. So you can start with one and end with the other. And I guess what I found, I went on to do, first off, I opened a gym. I was working in corporate, which was full of, I ended up leaving because it was very toxic and bullying, which I'm sure there'll be women out there who've been in corporate. And, and that really pushes your confidence down. So here I was, achieved all these things, finished my degree, was a manager at a large corporate, a successful single mom, doing my running and competing. And, within 6 months, I lost all of that confidence because of a toxic workplace. So I put all my energy into my gym because even through that, I felt better when I exercised. And it made such a difference. It kept me sober. It kept my mental health manageable. And I just wanted to share that with other women. So that was sort of the journey there, to find that it wasn't, working, it wasn't looking at an end result. It was about being able to focus on where I'm at now and being okay with that. And I think this is a big one for me as well, is, and I see it all the time with clients, whether it's health clients or business clients when I do coaching, the minute people are looking for something outside of themselves and not doing the work inside, it all comes tumbling down at some point. Or they get that success that they so desperately wanted, but they're still not happy. So that's why, for me, that whole believing in yourself and having self-esteem is like the key to whatever other goal you're going to try and reach, and it helps you.
I agree with you 100%. I'm also like a sports maniac, and like it really helped me every single time when I was feeling down. So I salute that like 100%. And I would like to touch on what you just said, that, you know, this, if we reach for something outside, but we are not fully accepting who we are, we don't love ourselves, we cannot be happy, we cannot be fulfilled. So how to do that? Like, you know, how do you do this with yourself? How do you do this with other people? Because I'm sure like many women listening to us, they do feel this way, that they, when I get a job, when I do this, when I have a business, when I hit my whatever months in business, when I lose weight, I will be happy. And I know myself, and you know that, you know, it's actually the other way around, but like how to tangibly, you know, implement that.
And it is hard. And especially, you know, what I found, especially in the fitness industry, is, oh my God, everyone wants to sell you a quick fix, you know, or, you know, 10x your business, you know, lose 6 kilos in a week, all that stuff. We're bombarded with it. So it's difficult for people to even see past that. But I guess what I'd say to people is, you know, once you be able to accept your flaws, I think that's, you know, one of the big things is being accepting of yourself, warts and all. You know, I know there's parts of me that I still need to work on a little bit, that I need to tweak, but I'm okay with that. And as I've got older, I've also learned to be really accepting of aging and look in the mirror and go, well, I'm not 20. I'm not supposed to look 20. I'm supposed to look 53. You know, but it doesn't mean I can't stay healthy and look younger, because let's be honest, the people who look the youngest are the happiest. When someone looks happy, they automatically look about 10 years younger. So again, that's that within. So everywhere I saw these people who were really genuinely happy, they were comfortable with themselves. You know, look, I have a toolbox because everyone's journey is different. So I include, I mean, gratitude is probably my biggest key, and that's having gratitude for little things, including yourself, you know, for those experiences. I always say to someone, you know, your trauma's not here today. You are, and you survived whatever it is to be here today. And that's amazing. You know, be proud of that. And you know, so that's the gratitude side. Then, of course, I do meditation and mindfulness, although generally for me, that's more active in running, or, you know, or I use my meditation every night to go to sleep, because my brain's always 100 miles an hour. So there's all of that. There's having purpose. I find, you know, giving as well, giving back to people. There's I go, like, I volunteer in a lot of different organizations, but I love giving because it makes me feel so good. You know, I love seeing other people smile. I love knowing that just something that I've done could help someone else, because I know what it's like to feel unsupported, to feel, you know, that nothing goes right, to have that self-hatred. And, you know, if I had my way in the world, no one would feel like that. Be sprinkling that kindness everywhere. So, yeah, I think it's, you know, and sometimes something doesn't work, try something else. Don't get stuck on just one fallback position. But, you know what, I think to love yourself, I think the biggest lesson I've learned is life is messy. Healing is messy. And don't get caught up in stuff that goes bad or goes wrong or doesn't work out, whether it's relationships or work, or you didn't reach a goal, or you didn't lose the weight, or you yelled at someone in the supermarket, whatever. You know, don't beat yourself up. None of us are perfect. And life can be really, you know, we've had a few years of extremely stressful related stuff. So just be gentle with yourself, because I think once you start being gentle with yourself, that's the greatest form of self-love, because it means we value ourselves. If we can go, because we do it to friends all the time. We do it to friends and clients. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, that's okay. Not a problem. But we tend to be highly critical of ourselves. And when we let go of that, it's such an amazing feeling. And it allows you to just be you and comfortable. You know, I'm saying, like, absolutely keep working on yourself. This is not a free pass just to do anything, but accept yourself for who you are. Don't try and be something you're not, and find what you're really passionate about, what really brings you joy. And, you know, have boundaries around negative people, who you hang out with. That's why I love, you know, like the summit and meeting you and the other amazing ladies. Hang out with people who inspire you, that drag you along with their amazing lives, because we do get to choose that. We do get to choose that. But loving ourselves first makes it easier to make those choices.
Absolutely. Yes, it's very important, which you are saying, that, you know, loving ourselves first, at the same time working on ourselves to be a better person, but not from the perspective, oh, there is something wrong with me now, I need to fix myself, but from the love and acceptance, and bringing more love and acceptance and joy and gratitude our way. So yeah, very, very, very beautifully said. And as you mentioned as well, like, you know, very often when people tend to look for the happiness outside, when they find it, it looks like they are still not happy, and they are like questioning what the hell is going on. So it's not about chasing the dream. I mean, of course, we need to be going for our dreams, but with the full heart and from a different perspective. Yes, Caroline, tell us a little bit more about, because you said, and I absolutely love this topic, so I would like to expand on that, that, you know, for you, like, the physical activity helped you on so many levels. It helped you get sober. It helped you, of course, with your fitness routine. It helped you look the way you look. You are saying you are 53, but you definitely don't look like that. And you are this shiny, bright person, but it also helped you with your acceptance, confidence, business, and everything. So how would you describe, you connect this together, why physical activity is actually strengthening us and our skills, our mental health, our emotional health, and physical health all together?
Yeah. So I guess there's a few different reasons. First off, like I said, physical activity has a physiological impact. So we automatically release, you know, the serotonin and reduce the cortisol. So just from the pure act of going for a walk has a positive impact on our body physically. Then, you know, we can use it, like I use my running as a type of mindfulness. So it's a chance for me to just get away from the day-to-day, be out in nature. I'm a bit, you know, when I talk, I much prefer being out in nature when I'm doing my exercise too, because I was actually just reading an article yesterday talking about, you know, the scientific benefits of being outdoors in nature and how that impacts us. But at the same time, every woman out there, go to the gym and lift some weights or do some weights at home. I find having lean muscle, benefit-wise for aging process, for women, especially with bone density, metabolism. You probably can't beat resistance type training. But I find lifting weights, and I don't do heavy weights, but, you know, is something really empowering about it. There's something really strong. And I love, you know, when I've got to get something down off a cupboard or throw something up or pick something up, I don't have to ask anyone for help, because I go, oh, I can, you know, 30 kilos, 40 kilos, I can lift that. So there's all those impacts. The other amazing thing about exercise too is a lot of exercise I do is around community. So I do a running group. I do park run with other people. I have my boot camp for women where we just come and half the time we're working out, half the time we're laughing. So, and then we always have coffee afterwards, you know, and we all sit down and chat, but it's fun and it's connection and there's no judgment, but we're still moving. So it's combining all of those aspects. At the same time, you know, if someone's starting off, start small. There's no, it's a lifestyle change you want to go for. I don't do any type of diet. I love chocolate. And I've had a little bit of an obsession with ice cream at the moment. But, you know, I think we should be able to eat all that good stuff. All food is fuel for your body. And it's healthy, you know, just moderation. But don't deny yourself parts of life, because that just makes you miserable. And that's why I saw in the fitness industry was a lot of misery. Because I'm like, well, if you're not enjoying it, you know, all those, when you're not happy, all those impacts on your body are negated. So you could be going to the gym, doing all the exercise in the world, but if you're stressed and unhappy, you know, you're not going to get the full benefit. So just do what you can. You know, I always say do what you can, listen to your body, and enjoy life. Like, you know, with everything, I just go, like, at the end of the day, you know, we're here. Well, we may be here once, we may be here more times. I don't know the answer to that question. Keeping my options open. But at the same time, we've only got this one life as us. So, you know, for me, it's really important not to spend that time doing stuff that makes us really unhappy. You know, obviously, as in life, there's stuff we don't want to do. And sometimes we have to do stuff to get to another point in life. But if you're stuck, if you're out there sitting there now thinking, I hate my life, then do you know what? Find some small thing. It doesn't matter how small. Find some small thing to do that can change that. And then one more small thing, and then one more small thing, until you get the life that you really honestly deserve. And, you know, and like I say, one of my favorite sayings is, you are enough. Wherever you are, whatever point in your life, whatever the situation is right now, you are enough right now. So just remember that and use that to empower yourself to make the changes you need to make the life you deserve.
Beautifully, beautifully said, as you are saying. It all comes down to this, yes, like you are enough, loving yourself first. So Caroline, if you can just tell us, like, maybe one or two little big golden nuggets that helped you and are helping your clients, like, to become more confident in whatever they do in life, whether it's business, health, career, relationship, I don't know, life in general. So, you know, just kind of, you know, two little nuggets that will inspire our listeners.
So I'm big on goals and taking action. So have the great big goal, but chunk it down into small actionable steps. And, you know, motivation is nothing without action. So doing something, even imperfectly, is better than planning something perfect. So I think it's important. Just go and do stuff. Two, very important to get rid of all the toxic people, environments, whether it's TV or the internet, any of that. If that's not bringing you joy, don't watch it. Don't be around it. Like we do. I love block and delete, you know, and don't get me wrong, you know, people say I'm right into the news and all that sort of stuff. I don't mind watching the news, but I'm very unemotional about watching it. I watch it for facts, not necessarily people's opinions. Because you go on for days. And I think the other nugget I would give is, you do you and let other people do them. We all have our own journey, And it's okay for other people to have beliefs that are completely opposite to yours. You know, somewhere you just sit there. I sit there sometimes talking to people going, in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, what is going on for you? But I just smile and nod my head and go, you do you, because it's not my place to judge you. The only person I'm responsible for is me. And, you know, I try and stay in my lane. I just stay in my lane, you know. And part of staying in that lane too is if it is someone who is toxic, of like moving them out of my lane. Or, you know, sometimes that's difficult because it's people we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But then you move more into you can be near them, but not emotionally. Don't give them your emotional energy. Just, you know, hello, goodbye, yes, no, fine. I think it's really important to cultivate our environment.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Like, you know, people we surround ourselves with, well, it's proven, yes, we are the very top 5 people that we spend the most time with. So we need to choose wisely. And as you are saying, sometimes we cannot change, but well, we can. Yes, we can change the interactions or our perception about them. So yes, so I really love those tips, like goals and action. Remove yourself from negative people and situation. And number 3, you said it was like doing you and let other just people doing them. So I love it. Caroline, thank you so much for being my guest today. I really enjoyed speaking with you. And if you can just tell us where can we find you, like, you know, how people can connect with you. Of course, like all the links to Caroline will be shared in the show notes of this episode. But if you can just tell us how we can connect with you.
Yes, certainly. On my website, carolinebellenger.com. Social media is Instagram and Facebook is Caroline Bellenger Official. I'm on TikTok. You might see a dance or two there. You're never too old to dance. And LinkedIn, yeah. So look, I share little self-esteem tips and everything all the time on my social media. I love just being able to just give value to other people that, you know, one thing might resonate with someone and that might change their day.
Exactly. Sometimes we just need to, well, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So sometimes in the right moment, we can see the little post or a little, I don't know, information somewhere here and there. And that can actually change the way how we feel and how we go for our dreams, for example. Yes. So definitely. Thank you so much for Caroline. And as we said at the beginning, like we will be together with Caroline, speakers at Women Thrive Summit. Caroline, what is going to be your talk about?
Oh, yes. My talk for the summit is 5 powerful secrets to heal your self-esteem. So you've heard a couple today, but I'll be going into more detail.
Oh, I love it. I so look forward to listening to your talk and to the summit in March. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, the ones who are listening to this podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as we did, share it with other people. They need to hear this message today as well. And yes, all the links will be shared in the show notes, so you can connect with Caroline, myself, grab your tickets to Women Thrive Summit. And thank you so much. And I look forward to speaking to you and bringing you other amazing guests in the next episode. Thank you and bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.
To get started on your confidence journey, I invite you to grab free 5-day email course, Confidence Rockstar. You will get 5 daily lessons sent directly to your mailbox, so you will have access to them anytime you like. You can grab this gift on the website alexgrzybek.com/5 days. All of the links to this episode you will find in the show notes below. And one more thing. I want to invite you to my personal website, alexgrzybek.com, where you'll find other podcast episodes and more of the free resources to help you on your confidence journey. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next episode.